little kid and, you know, not really knowing quite how to do things, I just kind of got these flowers and chucked them at him. But all the devotees, as you can imagine, were like, "Oh my God, Offenso! You know, stop this!" You know. But actually, Prabhupada just beamed and smiled. And, you know, he just so, you know, he was seeing what a child was doing, not the fear and the that's not etiquette, you know. So that was just one little. But when Srila Prabhupada finally came back to Vrindavan, so I was there. I was in Gurukul. I was 6 years old, and there was two devotees. One devotee, Prabhupada's disciple, Bardraj, and another one was Hamsadutta, and they both had beautiful expressions when they sang. So they used to sit with Srila Prabhupada in the afternoon.
Is the food offered?
I'm not eating it yet. Just wait a little bit.
And we didn't really get a choice, you know. So in the afternoon in Vrindavan it gets really hot. So so there's no school, and everyone's allowed to go to the Jamuna in Harinam and go swimming and have fun. And for some reason I was always picked out, like, no, you're not going swimming. You're going to sit with those adults and sing to Srila Prabhupada. And of course, years later, I'm so grateful for that. It's, you know, for that experience. But at that time, it was like, oh, really? Do I? You know. But I used to go and sit with them, and it was just the three of us, and Srila Prabhupada he'd just lie there for hours, and we just sing. So I think that maybe that's the connection maybe you picked up from. The Srila Prabhupada connection, and then so I was very fortunate to be with Srila Prabhupada at that time when he left, and again it was the two things. So Srila Prabhupada left, and my dad was one of his servants, so he grabbed me because there were so many devotees. I don't know if you know Prabhupada's rooms at Krishna Balaram, and so that was rammed with devotees, and so my dad grabbed me and brought me to Srila Prabhupada's feet and just made me grab Prabhupada's feet, and I just held his feet and then he left this world, and then they cleared everybody out of the room, and because the teachers were so upset and emotional, and because their Guru Maharaj has just left, for us it was like free time, you know. So we're like all running around and running on the roof and down the stairs and going to places we're never usually allowed, and but then the conch shell went and everyone was called into Krishna Balaram Mandir. So I think by now it was maybe about 10. So I think Srila Prabhupada left this world about 7:15 in the evening, or something like that. And then, so they brought Srila Prabhupada in on the palanquin. So he'd already left, but they garlanded him and he had all these beautiful fresh clothes on, and they brought him in on the palanquin, opened up all the deities, Gaurnita and Krishna Balaram and Radha Shyam Sundar, and then came and brought him and put him on his Vyasasan. And then devotees started doing real heartfelt bhajans. And I suddenly heard that the Krishna Balaram doors, the main ones, like proper Gaudiya kirtan. And I was only 6, but I clocked it, and I turned, and the doors burst open, and it was Gurudev with 2 or 3 other devotees, and they were, and it was like Lord Chaitanya had just just entered the temple, and that was the first time I actually saw Srila Gurudev. And all I could think was, I want to hold your hand. And it was, for me, it was, Srila Prabhupada leaves this world, and the same, within 3 hours, I'm having darshan of Gurudev. So it was really, I didn't know it at the time, but years later when when Srila Gurudev came to Radlit, me and another Gurukuli were playing the mridangas for the kirtan in that, And then you know how when Gurudev gives his katha and then everyone forms a line and everyone wants a little bit of attention and as he walks out. And so I was kind of stood there, and when he got to me, he just said, "I am your father, and I will always look after you." And it just took me back to Srila Prabhupada handing me to Gurudev. It was, really special. And I've never shared this with anyone because it was the dream world. It wasn't physical. But I think when it comes to personalities like Srila Gurudev, I think that there's no difference between dream world and this real awaking world at time. And so I started dreaming about Srila Gurudev about 2 weeks before he left this world, and it was reoccurring every night. He would come into the room and he would just lie down or he would just sit down, and I would offer him fruit and he wouldn't speak, and I'd offer him water and I'd say to him, "Does Madhav Maharaj know you're here?" And he just look and wave his hand like that, like don't ask. And I was very aware he was very frail, and because my mother passed away of cancer, so I know Gurudev didn't really leave this world of cancer, but there's a Leela that's acted out, and so I went to say to him, I think I know what you might be feeling in your body, and because my mother, and then again he would just lift his hand up like, no need to say anything. And this happened for 2 weeks, every night. And sometimes I'd even just like lie next to him, just waiting if he needed anything. And he would always come alone. And on the last night of that sequence of dreams, I was stood in the shoe room at the manor. Do you know the shoe room? So I was in the shoe room. I was putting shoes away, and Gurudev just walked past me, and he turned to me and he folded his hands, and I was like shocked. Like, what? Don't fold your hands to me. And he just said, "Thank you for everything," and I just didn't know what to say. And so he was looking at me, and then he turned sideways, and as he turned sideways, the half of his face I could see just turned into this most beautiful gopi, and then he just disappeared, and I just came out of the dream, and I woke Gun up. I was like, You had that dream, didn't you? Surely you saw that.
Had the same
I thought everyone in the house had that dream. It was so real. And I just said, I think Gurudev's gone. And then within an hour we had a call saying Gurudev's left this world. So I do, I'm a big rascal, I definitely, don't always follow the process at all. But I do try and stay connected to my heart, and then to also somehow make that connection with Srila Gurudev and Prabhupada. That's all I have to do. I wanna